Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our Treble series here. We are going to be starting off the next season of this series. So we're going to go ahead and get the entire first half of the season done. Obviously, we've played the first 3 games, 3 or 4 games at this point in the last episode. So we're just starting from September, going all the way to January. First game here against AFC Wimbledon. So Akinfenwa getting a little bit of a shot at his old team again here. So this game really didn't have much going on, which was a little disappointing. I kind of would have liked to see Akinfenwa get a goal here, but we end up drawing this game, and it is what it is. Obviously, you guys know the format of these episodes by now. Probably we have a ton of games going on, a ton of stuff going on in a very short period of time, because I want to go ahead and get through these as fast as possible. Because watching the games being simulated is fun and all, but it can only go so far, right? So I did send that scout out to Norway to look for another goalkeeper for me. He came back with this goalkeeper, Bricks. He has a 70 to 94 potential, and definitely wanted to go ahead and sign him up because, I've been looking for a goalkeeper to make sure that we do have a goalkeeper when we do lose the loanee goalkeeper we have right now. I wanted to bring someone in who had the growth to definitely outgrow the one we had now. And I think Bricks is definitely going to be the one for us. You guys will see through his training. He's growing incredibly quickly, and honestly, he should hopefully be taking over that starting role by the end of the season. So hopefully our loanee goalkeeper actually ends up becoming our backup keeper. And I will definitely want to do the same thing with our strikers. So now that we've found our goalkeeper, we're definitely going to be working on trying to get more scouts out to look for some strikers. And some left wings, right mids, left mids, and just trying to basically form this team so that we don't have to worry about any of these loanee players. Because as much as I love having them in the team, this definitely I want to have a completely youth-generated team by the time we get to the Premier League, right? I want to have the bench, the starting 11, the subs. I want all of them to be players that I've scouted for, the players that I've signed and watched grow throughout the team. So that's definitely going to be difficult, but it's a challenge that I'm ready to take on, and you guys are going to see by the end of the season. Honestly, I'm going to have the majority, or I would say by the start of next season, we should have basically an entire starting 11 generated from our youth academy, and the majority of the bench should be as well. So it's definitely going to be a fun time nonetheless. You guys are going to see some of these games. Some of them go well for us. Most of them go well for us. We have a couple hiccups here and there, but nonetheless, we were playing really well. The team was playing incredible. I showed you guys a couple lineup changes I made in the first few games, but once I kind of got everything settled, this is kind of the team that I wanted to go forward with. Minus, maybe a hiccup of an injury or a red card or anything like that. Windus goes down in this game, and it gives Dickinson a chance to basically come into the game and show what he's worth, right? And I kind of wish I would have taken advantage of that faster. The first game, you guys are going to see, I actually end up putting Pokari up at center attacking mid and bringing in Stokes, which still worked out well, but I think Dickinson is definitely one for the future, and so is Saf. If you guys don't know Saf, he's the one you see on the screen right here. Soft, whatever you want to call his name. He's growing incredibly well. I really didn't notice it because, he's still 62 rated right now, but he will end up outgrowing Dickinson to take over that spot in the center mid position. So I think we're talking about the right player here. Honestly, we have so many players in this team. Yeah, it is. It's Dickinson. Cresswell's on the left. We still have Bailey on the right, who's doing incredible things. Top goal scorer right now. Definitely going to make sure that he keeps that spot throughout the season. And Ambrose is playing incredibly well. Carver, he's been difficult to deal with. The difference between Carver and our other striker, whose name is escaping me right now, but the young striker, he's like a 57 rated overall, is that he asks to play while Carver just complains that he's not being played. And honestly, if you ask me to play and we're going up against a team that I think we can beat easily with the other players around you, I will start you. But if you're going to sit there and complain about not playing and not even ask to play, things get a little bit more difficult there. So I do end up sending him out on loan in the next transfer window. because it's just not drama that I want to deal with, especially with the players that I have. It's hard to work players like him into the team. So Key's been playing really well. He definitely slowed down after those first 3 games. He's not scoring nearly as much, but that's definitely because Ambrose and Bailey have definitely been stealing the spotlight. Key is another player that inevitably I think we are going to end up losing, but it really won't hurt me too much because, like I said, at the end of the day, I want my team to be fully generated players. Akinfenwa, obviously the player that we brought in, kind of a little bit as a joke, but at the same time, he's a very strong player nonetheless. He's the strongest player in the game, so we definitely brought him in for a reason. He's been a very good backup striker for us, and if we end up losing Key, he can fit into that starting lineup really well. So especially playing next to a speedy striker and out of the strikers that we have, he's the perfect option for us for a second striker. So he's definitely going to be doing a lot for us regardless of what position he's in, whether it's a center attacking mid, whether it's a center forward position or a second striker position. Akinfenwa is definitely one to keep in the squad for as long as possible, and I actually ended up giving him another year on his contract because I do want to take him into League One and just kind of let him be my backup striker for at least another year before he inevitably retires, because he is getting up there in age. So as you guys have been seeing, the games have been going well. The lineups really haven't been changing. Pakari has been playing incredible. He's getting assists left, right, and center. We look at our scout reports here. I wanted last time to scout O'Donnell a little bit more, and he ends up coming back as a 78 to 94 potential rating, so definitely wanted to go ahead and sign him up. So he's going to be an incredible right mid for us. So we have left wing and right mid kind of getting figured out. The thing with Cresswell, though, is that even though he's playing on that left, he's actually a very tall and big player that I kind of want to move him into a striker role. And as you guys just saw right there, we actually ended up losing out of the J-Paint Trophy to Bristol. So we are out of that cup competition. We only have one more cup left, and that's the FA Cup, which is going to be incredibly difficult. If we were going to win or get into the top 32 of any of the cups, it was definitely going to be the J-Paint Trophy. But losing out of that, it's really not that big of a deal. It lets me focus on the league because I do want to win the league. Even though my goal was to gain automatic promotion, I definitely wanted to focus on winning the league nonetheless. So you guys are going to see a little bit later on in this episode, we do end up having our first FA Cup game, and that one we actually get a pretty decent draw, but it just doesn't end up working out in our favor as well. So we end up getting knocked out of all the cup games, but it is what it is. Like I said, it lets us focus on the league, and that is my #1 priority. Definitely want to make sure that we can win the league now, not because if you guys don't know, and when you win the Football League 2, it actually doesn't give you money. You don't win anything for it. You just win promotion to the next league, and then you actually start getting money for your placings. So I believe you start getting money for your placings in League 1, if I remember correctly. I haven't played in League 1 since FIFA 15, so it'll definitely be interesting to see. But as you guys see, Akinfenwa, regardless of when I bring him in, he always seems to perform well, whether it's with assists or goals. He's doing well for me. So it's definitely a player to keep your eye on in the squad. I guess I was gonna say he's not the biggest name in the squad, but I guess he probably is. It's the one that everybody's gonna know. But whenever you have players like Pakari around him, who's just he really is the heart and soul of the team. He's been playing incredible. Having him in that center mid spot is actually really helpful. And I know I kind of complained about it a little bit in the beginning whenever our scouts were only bringing in center mids, but they're playing incredibly well for us. And if we end up moving to a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2 that's all center mids, I think we'll be incredibly well off. It may be something that I actually end up doing, just depending on how well my scouts end up bringing back strikers for me. If they keep bringing me back wingers and stuff like that, it's going to be hard to justify moving to an all center mid lineup because I don't have the striker options that I need. But like I said, with having our left wing being a very tall and big striker option, I'm definitely going to start trying to train him into being a striker next season, because Cresswell is definitely going to be a really good player for us. Like I said, he's really tall. If I can just get his heading and his striking up, I think he'll be incredible for us, and hopefully we can get in another striker that's going to have a little bit of pace to actually kind of help us there. So this game right here against Wickham is probably the biggest game so far in this episode. We were fighting with them for first place about all season, and this kind of gave us a little bit of breathing room. It obviously only 1 point, so it didn't do too much, but it kind of helped slow both of us down because we were both just kind of running away, or away from everyone else, and it ends up pulling the table a lot more closer than it really needed to be. So you guys are going to see here at the end of the episode, we're actually tied for first place come the end of the first half of the season. So we're playing well, but definitely want to get a little bit more breathing room in the second half of the season. So we are coming to a close. We have one more game after this one. So like I said, we're out of all the cups, but things are going well. Ambrose is hurt right now, is probably the only bad thing that's going on. Bailey is up front, and I actually brought in O'Donnell to play in that right mid position, but it's all going well. We're still winning games. We're still picking up a lot of points, and we're definitely looking good to end up in League One next season. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, I'll see you guys later.